I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but have you watched the movie The Truman Show? It stars super famous anti-vaxxer Jim Carrey and documents the life of a man who has lived all his life on television without his own knowledge. In the movie, from the very moments he was born, he was placed in a large set surrounded by hidden cameras and actors and people who were basically using him to get their start in Hollywood. His entire life, unbeknownst to him, was being broadcast worldwide, and people would make money off his tics and his mannerisms and everything about him. His parents taught him how to behave on camera. They gave him catchphrases and basically made his entire person into a product to be packaged and sold to people every day on television. By the way, this movie preceded reality TV, and it even led to a medical condition named after it, where a person would believe against all odds, against all reason, that they were being filmed the same way he was, despite the fact that they weren't. The movie ends on a somewhat happy note, or what's being interpreted as a happy note, with Truman being able to escape from the massive soundstage that his life was set in, and entering the real world. However, personally, I always thought that ending was super tragic. Here you have a character who his entire life was manipulated by everyone close to him. Here you have a character who throughout his entire life was manipulated by everyone close to him and told what to do, what to say, and who to be by his mother, his father, and everyone he would ever come into contact with. And he makes the decision to leave that world and enter a world where already everyone knows everything about him. Everyone knows his deepest, darkest secrets. Everyone's watched them for years. The trauma that would cause would be absolutely massive. He could truly never trust the people around him ever again, seeing as the people he shared his secrets with, the people he deeply cared about, every single one of them at some point had been paid to lie to him. He could never live a normal life, seeing as everyone in the real world would already know who he is, know all his tricks, and know everything about him and his most embarrassing moments that have happened throughout his life. He wouldn't be able to get a normal job and live comfortably because he would be such a hot topic and superstar that eventually he would either have to go back to television or purposely isolate himself outside of society as a whole. I, straight up, have written essay after essay about The Truman Show because it's one of my favorite movies, and I think it's insanely dark in a way a lot of people don't discuss. And I bring that up today because whenever I think about family vloggers, I think about Truman, because the issues the family vloggers are going to be giving their children are exactly like the movie, and I hate it. Hey guys, it's Shannon, and before I get into today's video, I do want to do another creator shout out and promote another channel that I have been watching all the time here on YouTube, and today that is Gene Matt. I actually don't know if I'm saying that last name correctly, but I hope I am. If I'm not, I super apologize. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Gene makes commentary videos on all sorts of subjects, pretty much whatever piques her interest, and actually dives pretty deep into the subject matter. Her content is funny and witty and smart, and she does it all while solving online puzzles. I am not kidding. Her videos feature her completing online puzzles, and I'm obsessed. I'm zen out. It is strangely calming to watch her do this. Because of her, I have been doing puzzles non-stop for the past week and a half on jigsawplanet.com, and I'm obsessed with it. I have spent hours doing puzzles online as a way to relax now, and it has really helped me out. And that is, frankly, all thanks to her. I am going to link her channel down below, but I highly suggest you check her out if you are interested in commentary videos that aren't afraid to speak their mind. I definitely want to see her get to at least 10,000 subscribers because, frankly, she deserves it. She for sure deserves it. With that being said, let's talk about 8 passengers, family vlog channels, and how this family proudly boasts about abusing their children online, all while making mountains of money off of their back. It is disgusting. 8 Passengers is the name of a family vlog channel that has 2.4 million subscribers. There are 8 members of the family, that being the mother, wife, and controller of the channel, Ruby, her husband, Kevin, and their 6 children, all of which I'm not going to name out of respect for their privacy, seeing as they are being forced on the internet even though they don't want to be there, and state that numerous times. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that either. Here's a clip of Ruby, the wife and mother and the driving force behind the channel, filming her child despite them repeatedly asking her not to.
I actually was thinking about you, Julie. Can I have a conversation with you?
Not the talk, not right here.
Actually, that's what it is.
No, it's not.
No,
no.
not doing this, not doing this.
Okay, so Here, just come sit by me.
What a caring, loving mother who just wants the best for her children. Putting a camera in the face of a child and purposely going out of your way to post their most embarrassing moments on your YouTube vlog channel for millions of people to see, even when they're straight up asking you not to? That's so fun. That's so quirky. Oh my god. Invasion of privacy? We love to see it. Disrespect of boundaries? Hell yeah. I understand the basic appeal of family vlogs. I do. Seeing as they are family friendly and genuinely wholesome content that the entire family can enjoy. And it's more or less trying to promote the perfect, wacky, dysfunctional family that has been propped up in sitcoms and movies for years. It's the basic, look at us, aren't we great idea. I get the idea, I understand the appeal for some people. However, even the people who like this channel, even the people who like family vlog content and aren't like me and hate it, they're noticing how toxic and genuinely gross the behavior with this family is. In an article written about the current controversy, it summarizes it by saying several videos from the family channel have alerted viewers from making her son sleep on a beanbag chair for 7 months to seemingly ignoring her kid's desires to keep things off camera. Ruby Frank, which again is the mother and the person behind the channel, has gone into a bit of hot water with some online. Now, this is something I haven't really shared publicly because it hasn't come up and it doesn't matter. But when my husband and I got out of being homeless a couple years back, we couldn't afford to buy a bed. Most beds are super expensive and we couldn't just like throw money at that problem. Hell, we could hardly afford the rent we were paying along with food. So the idea of having an extra $1,000 to throw at like a really good bed, that was insane. That wasn't going to happen. I knew that wasn't going to happen. So most nights I would just sleep on the ground, which, fun fact, was stained with car oil. However, after a little while of doing that and properly fucking up my back, I made the decision to splurge. No, not on a regular sized human bed that's low quality and just a couple $100s, but on a dog bed because it was cheaper. For almost a year's time, I slept on a dog bed on the ground while I tried to get my finances fully together to buy a regular bed. I slept on the ground on this dog bed, and looking back at that time now, it genuinely makes me so sad. It has destroyed my self-esteem in ways that I'm still to this day dealing with. Because for me, even having a bed, like the bed I have right now, it feels so luxurious, and being able to sleep at night feels overwhelming. I can't describe it. It feels like too much, like I don't deserve it. I don't mean to like get emotional, but that's the long and short of it. So the fact that this child's mother, this person whose job it is to protect and take care of her kids, and she's out here taking away that basic necessity of sleeping on a bed and making her child sleep on a beanbag chair because he apparently doesn't deserve to have a bed. That's beyond gross to me. That's beyond sick to me. Like grounding someone and saying when you're done with school you have to come right home, no talking to people, sure, fine, whatever. Taking their door off the hinges so they can't sneak around. I understand. I totally get that. That's things that my parents have done. But making them sleep on the floor or on a beanbag chair, no, absolutely not. That's going to physically hurt them, and you don't know what that's going to do with them mentally. Also, just so you guys know, guess why his bed was taken away? Guess why this child was told that he no longer deserved to sleep on a mattress and just have that basic necessity? It was because he pulled a prank on his sibling and told them that they were going to Disneyland, and the family wasn't going to Disneyland. He pulled a prank on his brother, and apparently, because of that, he couldn't have a bed for 7 whole months. I'm disgusted, truly. Like, as someone who probably cannot have kids, knowing that there are people like this who can have kids and exploit them online for money while depriving them of their basic needs for months, for 7 months, that genuinely upsets me. The article goes on to say this. Other punishments mentioned in the video were that Ruby had locked up all her kids' electronics and the TV remotes in their homes for an entire summer, which is fine, I guess. It's not like you want your kids to be able to talk to their friends or even have the ability to make friends or feel like they can even relate to other children by referencing the media that's popular. I mean, sure, Ruby, you can use social media and gain followers and money off the backs of your kids because they're your content, but God forbid your kids have an Instagram. God forbid they're able to talk to other people, you know? That's too much. You're right. One of the kids also hadn't had access to a cell phone in more than a year, and according to the article, Ruby said she wasn't actually planning on giving it back to him. We are talking about a 15-year-old, by the way. The kid we're referencing, he's 15, and this woman is straight up isolating that child from the world around him and bragging about it on her YouTube channel because LOL goals or whatever. Straight up, when I was younger, I didn't get a phone until I was 14, and that was over 10 years ago. And even then, I was made fun of for not having that phone. That was 10 years ago. A kid who's 15 not having a phone, that's unheard of. That's going to be so damaging to his ability to talk to his peers and make friends. The article goes on to say that the kids have admitted that they don't really have friends, and I'm inclined to believe it's because of their parents, specifically their mother, who literally refuses to let them act like children and let them be kids. Like, why can't your 15-year-old have a fucking phone? Why can't your kids watch TV and play online during the summer? Why did you have to send one of them to a wilderness behavioral camp that is dangerous? Why is your daughter, who's 5, in charge of her own lunches when she's 5? That is insane. That is gross. And as much as I want to say I'm surprised with how gross these family channels have gotten, with how they're broadcasting abusive shit, I'm honestly not. The fact remains that family vloggers make their money off exploiting their children and using them for views. Their kids growing up and nearing adulthood and nearing the age when they can finally say, I don't want that fucking camera in my face, is like when an actor decides to leave a show they've been on for years and years and years. That's what it's like to these channels. And if these people who already have no problem putting their family in front of the internet for money and fame can do something to stop it and make those children more compliant, make them more isolated, make them more willing to bend to their will, they'll do it. They're already in a position to do it. There is currently a petition for CPS to be called and check in with this family, seeing as in their own videos you can hear the children being distressed about being on camera, and seeing as how Ruby recently talked about her 5-year-old forgetting her lunch to school and she refused to bring her any food during the day because, quote, that was her daughter's responsibility, unquote, because that makes sense. Let's leave a 5-year-old in charge of protecting themselves. That's great. I personally would love to see CPS step in because this shit really gets on my nerves, and I just hope the kids are really able to grow and become their own kinds of people and get away from this. Let me know what you guys think of the situation in the comments down below. Let me know if you think Ruby is fine and her parenting method of not letting her kids be kids is totally normal, and if you think there's something wrong with me here because my mind is messed up. I can't wait to see what you guys say in the comments down below, and with that being said, I will see you in my next video. Later.